Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Mr. Kennedy. Good morning, Mr. John. Good morning, Amal. Good morning, Mr. Emmanuel. Good morning. Trust you all had a wonderful weekend. So I want to officially welcome each and every one of us to today's Monday morning market review for the week. And my name is Somto, and I'll be taking you for today's review on the Monday morning market review. Okay. Please note that whatever advice I'm going to give is not an investment advice. I'm actually analyzing based on market scenarios and based on past and current market performances and based on data provided for us for the analysis. Okay, so please, before you take any trade or take any trading decision, please kindly note that traders' decision is actually at traders' discretion. Thank you. So let's jump into it straight away. So over the weekend, if we've been following the happenings around the globe, especially for the US sanction and the tariff that Donald Trump has been trying to impose for any goods that is expected to be imported into the US market. Now, first and foremost, let's look at the crude oil. Let's look at crude oil. Early hours of today, crude oil gapped down, and that was because of the anticipation of the kickoff of the tariff that Donald Trump is expected to impose. And like we already know, once this tariff is imposed, you expect it to affect the price of oil. But based on the data coming out from the US and also the information that Trump is actually looking forward to extending the tariff that is expected to impose from July 9th to August 1st. So the tariff might come in place between 9th of this month or the 1st of August. And now looking at that, that actually made the price of oil to gap down a little bit this morning as the concerns grew. Okay. And not just the tariff that actually made the price of oil to drop a little bit. Now we know we have OPEC and we have the OPEC plus. Now, the goal of OPEC is actually to drop output so that the price of oil can be increased. While the goal of OPEC plus is to increase output and reduce the cost of oil. Now, there was a meeting held late last week where there was a concession to actually come a concession for them to have a balance in terms of output for oil production. Now, last week Saturday, it was agreed that production is expected to be around 548,000 barrel per day. That's for August. That's for August. So that actually affected the price of oil early today. Not just the tariff, but the output data also affected the price of oil today. So if you are looking at oil currently on your chart, you could see the gap. And after the gap, there was a push up on the price of oil. One, because the tariff did not come as expected. And also because OPEC and OPEC Plus have had an agreement to push the output increment till August. So these two data has actually affected the price of oil. So looking at oil currently now, you could also see that the price is currently pushing up. Okay. Now for traders who want to take full advantage of this movement in price, it's important for you to also look out for a major resistance. And this resistance we are talking about is currently at price level. It's currently at price level 68, price level 68.859. It's currently at price level 58.859. Now, for you to take a trading decision on oil, it's important that you wait for price to break out. Okay, wait for a price breakout on crude oil. Okay, now you can target 69.612 for a breakout. Now, but alternatively, if fundamental decides to push the price of oil downwards, now you can target your entry for a sell on oil at price level 67.255. 67.255. Now, having in mind that the tariff wars are still on, and OPEC and OPEC Plus, they are still having a discussion as to know the exact output they expected to push out for August. And they still have a meeting coming up in September They still have a meeting coming up in September to decide on what to do. So, but technically looking at the price of oil, it's been able to cover the gap for this morning, and it's currently pushing and currently at 68.537. So for you that want to take advantage of this opportunity, please look for a breakout and wait for price to break and close above the resistance level at price level 69.481. 69.481. But alternatively, if price is unable to break this region and decides to retrace backwards, for a sell, I'm going to be suggesting an entry point of 67.091. 67.091. And that's going to be for it on crude oil. Two factors to have in mind: the tariff that Donald Trump is expected to impose between July 9th and August 1st. A date has not been decided yet, but it's something we actually need to watch out for keenly. Okay. Now let's take a look at gold. We know that gold is also referred to as a safe haven because this is a commodity that people and nations invest in at times of uncertainties. At times of uncertainties, people tend to acquire more of gold and sell it off once the price appreciates. So currently now, two things actually affected gold, or is currently affecting gold. Okay, two things actually is currently affecting gold. Now the first one, like I already mentioned, is the tariff. The first one is the tariff that Donald Trump is looking at imposing, and is looking at it taking effect around August 1st or July 9th. So let's have those dates in mind, because once this tariff comes into full effect, we expect a major and sharp movement in the market, okay? And like you already know, for you to take full advantage of opportunities in the market, you also need to consider your equity as a trader, which is very, very important. You also need to consider your equity as a trader, which is very, very important. Now for gold, early hours of today, there was a sharp drop on gold, and the reasons are not far-fetched. This is because of the pressure by a steady dollar, um, you know, rising from the threats by the U.S. Donald Trump president, and also for some fantastic and wonderful data, which we call the non-farm payroll, that was released last week Thursday. This data also gave a good and strong strength to dollar, and is currently still supporting dollars. And now for the tariff as well, it's important to note that Donald Trump is also threatening an additional 10% to to the BRICS. Most of us, there's a consortium of countries that came up together and they form what is called BRICS. And these BRICS members are Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, and United Arab Emirates. Now, these actually know that the countries that make up the BRICS nation. Now, Donald Trump is also threatening to add an additional 10% tariff on this nation because they are perceived as the enemies of the US. They are perceived as the enemies of the US. Now, the sole aim of these BRICS, they are coming together, is to come up with a unique and a single currency in order to mount pressure and make the value of the dollar to depreciate. So that's why Donald Trump is seeing them as the enemy of the US. So he's actually threatening additional 10% on these nations, including the previous already approved tariff that we expected, or we're expecting to come into effect around 9th of July, between 9th and 1st of August. Okay. So Donald Trump is adding additional 10% for these nations. So these are actually the things that are still affecting the price of gold, because at uncertainty period like this now, we expect the price of gold to drop, because people who have actually acquired gold when gold was trending, they are looking at selling it off now to to take their profit and to have their money back until the market settles. So the tariff is affecting gold. The strong data that was released in the US last week is also affecting gold, because like we already know, of we don't know, a stronger dollar equal to a weaker gold, while a weaker dollar supports a stronger gold. So these are the two factors affecting gold. And for you as a trader, if you look at the daily, the 1 hour time frame, you could see that currently gold is currently sitting on a support, and it's been selling since early hours of today. And currently the pattern that we have showing on your screen now is what we call a double bottom. Now it signals that there is a strong and a major resistance point or level at this current price. That's 3301.12. 3301.12 is actually no signaling that there's a strong support at this price level. So it's also important for you to look out for a buy opportunity at this point, because gold has been selling since the early hours of today. Now currently we have less than 6 minutes for this current candle to close. Now if this current candle closes as a bullish candle or as a buy candle, we should be looking out for a retracement upwards, okay? Because when you have this particular candle pattern, which is referred to as a double bottom, it's actually an indication that price might retrace from this point, okay? Okay. So what I'm actually suggesting for traders that want to take advantage of this opportunity is for you to wait for this current candle or the next candle to close as a bullish candle. What I mean as a bullish candle is as a buy candle. If the candle closes as a bullish candle or a buy candle, it's going to give you an opportunity for you to take a suggested buy on gold. Okay, so kindly wait for this current candle or the next candle to close bullish. Now you can target your entry for a suggested buy at price level 3315.97. A suggested buy at price level 3315.97. You can take a suggested buy from that level. But alternatively, if the pressure on gold continues to mount because of a stronger dollar, and there's a breakout below the double bottom that we have at price level 3301.12. Now, if price is able to break and close below 3299.23, I'm actually suggesting a sell-off on gold at that point. Now, looking at this 1 hour time frame, you could see there's a lot of gap for gold to cover at this period. Okay, and if dollar continues to gather strength because of the positive data that was released last week, and also the uncertainty surrounding the tariff that is expected to be imposed on all the goods coming into the US. Currently, we might see a stronger dollar, but once the date of that tariff is confirmed, at that point, we might start seeing a weaker dollar. Okay, so for now, wait for this current candle to close bullish and close above price level 3312.97 before you can take a suggested buy, or wait for it to close below price level 3301.12. So that's going to be my analysis on gold. Okay, my analysis on gold. And it's also important to note that as a trader, for you to start up your day, after you must have actually looked at the market fundamentally, you can also have a look at on this website. That's forexfactory.com. Okay, so forexfactory.com. Now for today on forexfactory.com, everything is still going to trade around the US dollar's strength in terms of the tariff, in terms of the sanctions and everything. So currently, dollar has enormous strength to trade positively across board. Okay, so for today, we are not expecting any major news from the US, any major trading economy. Okay, so all the news we have for today on Forex Factory, they are all low impact news. They are all low impact news. So for crude oil, you wait for a breakout. For gold, you wait for a breakout as well. Okay, so let's also have a look at Euro USD. Let's have a look at Euro USD. Now for Euro USD, you could also see clearly that Euro USD has kind of been bearish since early hours of today up until now. That is trying to retrace off its support on the the 1 hour time frame. And like I mentioned earlier, the reasons are not far-fetched. The reasons are not far-fetched, like you already know. It's because of the tariff and also a stronger data or a strong data that was released in the US last week. Okay, these two things are still giving the dollar more strength. Okay, so the tariff is actually going to expected to have a negative effect on the US dollar when it comes into play. But for now, still there's still uncertainties on when it's going to take effect. That's why you see the dollar appreciating, and also the non-farm payroll data that was released last week Thursday is also giving the dollar some good strength. So currently, you could also see on 1 hour time frame that price is currently bouncing off its support on this 1 hour time frame. Okay, so this is actually a region we should look out for. It's very important to look out for this particular region and not just jump into taking an uninformed or not well thought out trade on this particular spot. Okay, so for me, I'm going to suggest that we wait for this current candle to close in the next 3 seconds and wait for the next candle to open before we take a decision on Euro USD. Now, for me, I'm going to be giving a suggested sell entry on Euro USD if price is able to break below this double bottom and break below this support, and if price is able to break below 1.17214, I'll be looking out for a suggested sell on Euro USD, because if you look on a daily time frame, you could see that there are lots of caps for Euro USD to cover in terms of dollar selling, because currently it's been buying for how many months now? Euro USD has been buying for the past 5 months. You can see it on my screen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Euro USD has been buying for the past 5 months. And if you look at this candle on this monthly time frame, it's actually not called a Marubozu. Now it has no wick. It's a full formed candle, no wick, no shadow, no nothing. It's a full formed candle. And this is also giving a technical indication that Euro USD might buy further. The Euro USD might buy further, but currently, because of the trade war that is ongoing, it's important that we trade Euro USD as it comes by day. Okay, so for today, just kindly hold on and exercise patience and wait for a breakout, either below the support level at price level 1.17205, or you wait for a breakout upwards if price is able to close above price level 1.17385. Okay, so that's going to be the analysis for Euro USD. And also for GBP USD, we're also still looking at a stronger dollar against GBP USD, because I think it's going to be a great week for the US dollar. So you should be looking out to trade in favor of the US dollar. Okay, and like I mentioned earlier, there are lots of opportunities for us to take full advantage of, but it's also important that we consider our trading equities as well, because the more equity we have to work with, the more opportunities we can take full advantage of. Okay, so let's also have a look at US stock. That's US 100. Okay, let's have a look at US 100. Now, when you talk about the US stocks, now we already know that a stronger dollar gives us a weaker stock or indices. So currently, the US dollar is still trending in terms of strength. And looking at the stock, now the US stock market opens 2 p.m. GMT. Okay, 2 p.m. GMT, 3 p.m., 4 p.m. GMT +1. So we expect movement when the US stock market opens. So currently now the market opened with a cap up based on the uncertainties about the trade tariff that is expected to be imposed. So for lovers of stocks, you can wait until the US market opens around 2-3, depending on your time zone. Okay. So but we expect that the stronger dollar, we are trying to looking out for a weaker stock. And by the time the US dollar depreciates in value, it's going to be a good day for stock traders. So for us, actually, for most persons or traders that want to take advantage of, this price movement, now we should be looking at a particular breakout at price level 228113.75. We actually will be looking at a breakout at that price level, and the major movement is expected to happen at the open of the US stock market. Okay, at the open of the US stock market. So I actually expect the US stock to drop because of a stronger dollar. Okay, so you can just wait for a breakout at this price level, because if you look on this 1 hour time frame, you could also see price rejections at this region. You could actually see it, especially at price level 22,807.14. There are strong rejections at that region. So you can just wait for a breakout there before you can take a suggested buy on NAS 100. Now for a sell, I'll be suggesting a sell on NAS 100 if price is able to close below 22723.43. I'll be looking at taking a suggested sell at that region 22723.43. Okay. So for us, there are lots of opportunities to take advantage of this week, today, because of the news surrounding the US dollar. You have gold, you have the crude oil, you have USD pairs, that's EURUSD, GBP USD. You also have USD card. So these are opportunities we can take full advantage of to make money today. So, but before you take any trade, please, it's important that you look at your trading equity, because that's definitely the thing you need for you to make money from trading. Okay. And also make sure you take a trade, and also make sure you look at your trades, set your take profits, set your stop loss at your own discretion, because there are lots of opportunities for us to make money from. Okay. So having said that, we've been able to analyze gold based on the tariff. We're actually still looking forward to the price of gold to drop because of the tariff imposition we're experiencing to to take effect on the 9th of this month, between 9th and the 1st of August. We also looked at crude oil, okay, because of the tariff, and also because of OPEC Plus looking at increasing output, because you already know the law of demand. Okay, the lower the demand, the higher the supply, the lower the price. And the higher the demand, the lower the supply, the higher the price. But they are trying to push, OPEC Plus is trying to push in more crude into the market. So we're actually expecting the price of crude oil at least to drop. We also looked at EURUSD because of the positive data that was released last week Thursday in the US. It actually, and the tariff that is yet to be decided as to when it's going to take effect is still supporting a stronger dollar. Same thing for GBP USD, same thing for USD CAD. And for NAS 100, the US stock market opens 2 p.m. GMT. Okay, that's when we usually expect the move to take place. But because of a stronger dollar, we're actually not looking forward to a weaker stock. So these are opportunities we can take full advantage of this week. Okay, and also make sure that you have the equity to take all these trades. Okay, so that's going to be the end of today's analysis. We look forward to having you around for tomorrow's class. Okay, so if you have any question, any suggestion, anything, always feel free to to reach out to us. Okay, thanks for your time, and have a lovely week ahead. Bye.